Okay, so our topic of discussion for today is ratio and proportion. And our first question is a word problem. And we're going to see a few of these today. And let's read. In a junior class, there are 24 more girls than boys. That's a pretty sweet class to be in if you're a boy, right? What is that? Why? There's more girls for you. You're surrounded by girls. The ratio of girls to boys is 5 to 4. How many girls and how many boys are there in the junior class? All right, so we made some let statements. We found out that x was the number of boys, and 24 plus x was the number of girls. All right, the ratio of girls to boys is 5 to 4. How many girls and how many boys are there in the junior class? So the ratio, let me use a different color. The ratio, do you know what that word ratio means? It means fraction. Girls to boys, 5 to 4. Girls over boys is 5 over 4. Right? That's what that stuff in green means. Okay? So how can we take all this information, kind of put it together? Hannah? Yeah, we're going to put an equal sign. So finally now, oh, I know it. Yeah, we're going to put it all together now. Girls over boys, G over B, right? 5, very nice, Myra. 5 over 4 equals, now girls is 24 plus x, and boys is just x. Now it's an equal sign in between, so what do? Everybody's favorite. Oh yeah, cross multiply. Finally, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. So 5x equals 4 times 24 plus x. Okay, do you see what I did? Or is that confusing? Confusing? Okay, let me erase for a minute, and because I skipped a step. I skipped a step. Here's what I did. It's not that this was wrong. It's just that I skipped something. Okay, so let me take this back out. We're going to dab this in black, and let's write this down again. Okay, so here's what we have. When you cross multiply, you do 5 times x, and I'm going to put that in parentheses like this. And then we do 4 times 24 plus x. And so now we'll continue that up over here. 5x. And then what do we do with this 4? Distribute. 96? Well, let's use our calculator. I think it's 96. Yeah? Subtract 4x from each side. Cross these out. 1x equals 96. So how many boys are there? Good. Whenever you have a word problem, you have to give your answer in terms of a sentence. There are 96 boys. And if there are 96 boys, how many girls are there? Maybe it's a college class. No. Yeah. And there are 96 plus 24. What's 96 plus 24? 120 girls. Ooh, that's a lot of girls. Recording. So we're talking about ratios. We're on problem number 2 now, right? Write each ratio in simplest form. What do I mean? That doesn't even look like it's anything. It looks like something from English. It does look like the time. I agree with that. You know, this is a weird way in math of saying a fraction, right? This number goes on top and this number goes on the bottom. And what is 12 over 8 when you reduce it down? Yeah, 3 over 2, because 4 goes into 12 3 times. 4 goes into 8 2 times. So final answer, 3 over 2. Excellent job. Let's see if you guys can get the bottom one. All right, here we go with the next one. This is 6x squared over 9x. What's that reduced down to being? Yeah, 2x over 3. Very nice. Yeah, 3 goes into 6 2 times, and 3 goes into 9 3 times. And then we have 2 x's. One of these x's crosses away with this one. And so you're eventually just left with just 2x over 3. Excellent job. Really nice. Hold on. So we're up to another part where we're just going to be solving proportions with equal signs in between. And we have volunteers from our audience to come up to the board. Yeah, this is easy, right? We had somebody else come up. What did we do? We cross multiplied. Right here. So we got that. Then we divide it. New problem. Just a little bit harder. A little bit harder. So hold on. So we're going to cross multiply. Let's show you how it works. Oh, you want to come up to the board and come do it? It's all you. Guys, we still have one more problem to do. We still have one more problem to do. So let's take a look at Diana's work. Diana did a really great job. So let's take a look through Diana's work. She cross multiplied. She distributed really well. Then she tried to get x by itself. She did this really well by subtracting negative 15 away. Then she subtracted 48 from each side. She got to this step, and she didn't get scared because it was going to be a fraction, right? Divided both sides by negative 9, and it's okay. It's a third. She did a brilliant job, and I'm very proud of her. Good job, right? So we got problem number C up here, and we have a volunteer coming from our audience, a very brave volunteer, and good luck. Okay, last problem, the hardest of the bunch. What are we going to do right here? We had Hannah come up to the board, and she did the most amazing job ever. You cross multiply this with this. Okay, and that's what she did. After you cross multiply, you get something that's relatively difficult to deal with, in which case you have to FOIL, right? X times times positive 2, negative 2 times x, and negative 2 times positive 2. You get the following. That's what's written down below right over here. She simplifies that. She gets this, subtracts 3 over, sets it equal to 0, and then you have to refactor and solve, just like we had done earlier in the year. So finally, you get an answer of 4 and negative 1, and Hannah chose to represent it using solution set, so that right here is her final answer. She did a wonderful job. Thank you.